just thought it would be good to have a little chat with you guys about something that's been on my mind recently. And it's the fact that I've realized that I've been able to do a lot, like make a lot of progress and stuff recently in my life over the last couple of years. And a lot of it is just due to the fact that I've realized I am not as scared of failing as I used to be. And it's made me come to the point where I've started to realize maybe failing is the only way to succeed, if that makes sense. So hear me out for a second. So I remember before I was making content online, before I was posting myself to the world, before I was talking to cameras, all of that, like younger me when I was just down bad, just depressed, just like playing games all day, avoiding everything in my life. Technically, during that period, I didn't fail at anything. Like I failed a lot more these last 4 years of my life than I did all those years where I was just kind of doing nothing. And when you like stay in your comfort zone and you feel like, okay, I'm not great, but at least I'm not like out there embarrassing myself and failing. But the truth is that by not giving yourself any goals to work towards, by not giving yourself even any tasks to do during the day that are productive, you are failing, but you're just failing yourself internally. Because by giving yourself no parameters of failure, so no goals to reach, it makes it feel like you're not failing, but you are failing. Because now I set myself goals all the time, I set myself tasks to do all the time, and a lot of the time, I'll be honest, I fail. You've probably seen it firsthand. I've tried different things and they don't always work out, and I just take it as a lesson. I'm like, okay, cool, that didn't work out, on to the next one. And I've realized having this mentality has changed my life in so many ways, like in so many different ways. It's actually crazy, like to the point where I almost don't feel afraid to do anything. Like I feel myself being so much more adventurous and so much more carefree because I understand that even when I do fail, which is quite often, I'm okay after. Like the world doesn't end. I don't just suddenly like disappear off the face of the earth. Like I'm gonna be okay. So if anything, my message is that fail as much as you can, because that's the only way you know that you're doing something. I feel like if you haven't failed in a long time, it's probably because you haven't done anything in a long time. Unless you're just naturally gifted at everything to the point where you're a bit of a freak. You should be failing all the time. I realize I'm failing a lot more recently, and it's kind of, I'm getting used to it in a weird way. Like I try something, it doesn't work, I'm like, alright, try something else, it kind of works, I'm like, okay, cool, try something else, it doesn't work at all. And it's important to also not just like, throw mud against the wall, like try everything. It's important to, after you've tried things, take a step back and analyze, like look at what you've been trying, see if there's ways of improving on it, ways to pivot into something else. And I think that's what I've been trying to get better at, because that in itself is a whole different skill, being able to analyze your failures. Because obviously having the initiative and the guile just to just try stuff, that's a skill as well. But then it doesn't always automatically go over to the skill of being able to analyze your failures. So I think that's what I'm growing at now. I'm trying to get better at like being able to analyze why I went wrong in the past and where my actions have maybe led me down the wrong road. So yeah, I just think that's a really cool skill to get better at. It's kind of hard because a lot of it has to do with being able to kind of let your ego go down a little bit. Like you have to realize, okay, I'm not all that right now. Like I'm not exactly where I want to be, which in itself is hard to admit sometimes. But to know that, okay, I'm getting there slowly at my own pace. I'm trying, and I think as a human, that is all we can do, right? Try. You try things. You just gotta try. That's that's my message to you today, my friend, my guy, my gal, whoever you are out there watching. If there's something you're scared to do recently, that is a sign that you probably should do it. If we're being honest, that's what I've realized as well. Whenever I'm scared to do something, after I do it, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I did that. Almost every single time. I'm sure there's exceptions for this, but from what I can remember right now, in this exact moment, almost every single time, it ends up working. Like, it's something that I either learn from or it just works. Like, I realized my doubts were just in my head. Yeah, I think it's easy to psych yourself out with things sometimes and put too much pressure on yourself to get things right the first time. But it's all about having kindness for yourself and realizing that you're not perfect, you don't know everything, and that is okay. Yeah, sorry if I'm going on a tangent here, but it is what it is. So like, the more that I've learned, the more I've been reading, the more I've been just discovering new things, the more I realize I don't know anything about anything. And that's a bit of a scary realization, that you don't know anything. But I'm willing to keep having this realization because it kind of feels good to know that you don't know everything. Because if you knew everything, what's the point of doing anything if you just know how it's going to go? I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say today. So my final message for you, my friend, is if you're scared of doing it, do it anyway, and then look at it later and analyze it, see where you went right, see where you went wrong, and then fix it. And then keep doing that over and over again. The more you do that, the closer you'll get to something, anything, something good probably. And yeah, so that's me for today. That's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this little convo. And I will speak to you very soon, my friend. Have a good day. Have a good night. I love you. You love me. We're best friends. Yeah, go us. Bye-bye.